You are listening to That's Not the Finish podcast, a no-holds-barred pro wrestling podcast perfect for getting your wrestling fix. Now get ready to call for the 3 count. 1, 2, 3. And try not to get DQ'd. Because here are your hosts.
Welcome to another episode of the That's Not the Finish podcast. So, Dom, ask me how I'm feeling.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty fucking pissed. Aren't you going to ask why?
Why?
So, I was trying to buy New Japan tickets for Fighting Spirit that was going to be in Hammerstein Ballroom, and my company's why. First I was blaming Ticketmaster, and I'm really sorry for blaming Ticketmaster this entire time because I was like kind of angry tweeting at them. But it actually turned out that it was my company's Wi-Fi that was blocking me from actually buying the tickets. So I was like waiting there on my lunch break, all eager, ready to buy New Japan tickets, and then the next thing I know is I'm about to try to actually just get onto the site to make my purchase, and then the next thing I know, I'm getting hit with this error message, and I'm just saying to myself, okay, yeah, it's Ticketmaster, and people on Twitter are saying, oh yeah, it's Ticketmaster. Then I keep trying it, and then I'm waiting, just thinking that, okay, maybe nobody else can get these tickets, and then the next thing I know, they basically, people on Twitter are saying that they're sold out, and I'm like, how come I still can't see the page? Like, how are people buying these tickets if they're still sold out? So pretty much I disconnected from my company's Wi-Fi on my phone and just tried to see what could come up on my phone, and then I actually saw the page that it actually said that they were sold out. So I actually said to myself, okay, so let me try this on my company's computer, and if it actually gave me the same error message, then I tried it on the company's computer, and then all of a sudden it gave me that same message, and then I said, well, great, guess what? My company's Wi-Fi was actually stopping me.
Oh, damn.
So literally, I probably could have got the tickets if I was just smart enough to just disconnect on my phone.
Yeah,
your job just didn't want you going to see New Japan?
My job was probably like, oh no, we're WWE people. He's not going to go see New Japan. I'm a hugger. He has to see Bailey.
That makes most sense.
Yeah. All right,
so hack your company's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I should try hacking the company's Wi-Fi next time. Get around it. Get around the Great Firewall. All right, so today's episode, we're going to be talking about Shane McMahon just being really overused on WWE these days, both on Raw and Smackdown. And I have to agree with you. It's because they just literally have... this guy literally was missing from WWE for so long, for like years, centuries, it almost felt like. And now he just comes in, and he was basically the GM of SmackDown for a while, and now he's in the ring competing, and they're just making him into a big heel. And at first I was digging it. I thought it was actually pretty cool what they were doing with him. But it actually just seems like it's really overused right now, and in my opinion, I just am kind of getting tired of him. I mean, he's a good heel, but I think that they just need to start doing something a little bit different because they only have Elias and Drew McIntyre as his henchmen right now.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that he's been overused, and he's dragging McIntyre down with him. I mean, don't get me wrong, McIntyre is being built strong with Shane, but it's just like it's getting overplayed and he's getting overused. It's like, where is he going to go with this right now? So, I mean, and I don't know. He needs to get off television, and I'm hoping that Kevin Owens can do some good here.
Yeah, I mean, me and Dave were having a conversation about this the other day, and we came to realize he's being used in 4 different storylines right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got his feud going on with Kevin Owens. He had his feud going on with Roman. He had his feud going on with Miz for a little bit, like playing. Well, it was ending as he was going into those other feuds.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's not even like technically not even an active wrestler in the roster, and he's got more feuds going on at one time than like some people get for the entire year.
That's true.
It's just like a bit ridiculous.
He's literally getting used more than some people that they would much rather see pushed on several different rosters than, or even like people that they would like to see like used more. So it's like he's basically just hogging up so much time. But like what Kevin Owens was basically bringing this to everybody's attention during all these segments. It's kind of true. I mean, maybe what they're going to do is with the storyline, they're going to have him basically just beat the crap out of Shane, and then maybe this will actually start bringing more people that have been in the backlight for so long and start giving them more opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We're hoping like that's what this Kevin Owens thing leads to, is giving other people more opportunities. I mean, it's not just Shane that's being overused. There's other people that are being like overused as well. I mean, I was looking like around the other day, just like doing some general research, and within like since the incarnation of the Universal title, there's only been, I think it was 15 people that have gotten a title shot. And it's been around for 3 years now. Like, it's just the same people over and over going for the belt.
Remember when Finn Balor had that? Oh, yeah. Remember when Kevin Owens had that? Oh, yeah. Remember when Goldberg had that?
Oh, don't remind me.
Literally for no apparent reason, just throwing a belt on the guy, and that was like the whole like why? It was just to give the belt some more integrity or something like that. Like just like so that they could say like, oh, like they have like a legend held the belt. Now like maybe Undertaker is gonna have it. It's gonna be Undertaker versus Goldberg for the Universal title.
For the love of God, don't do that.
Don't even mention that. They might hear it and get an idea.
You're right.
This is gonna be that's good shit.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, it's been like Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman had a few shots at it here and there. Lesnar had a few shots.
That's actually the surprising thing, is that Braun Strowman actually has not won the title yet.
No, he's had a couple of title shots, but he still hasn't won the title itself.
And that's actually really funny because you think that Vince would actually slap a belt on him like right away, because he just loves big guys.
I really don't know what the hell they're doing with Braun, honestly. Like, they were pushing him so hard for the longest time, and then they're like, we're done with you. And then they go back to pushing him again for a bit. We're done with you.
It's like start, stop. It's like doesn't
know what the hell they're doing with him.
Yeah, I know what they're doing right now.
It's like that scene like in Toy Story where Andy or whatever it is, Sid was just like, I don't want to play with you anymore, and just throws down the figure. That was Vince with that was just Vince with Braun Strowman. He's like, I don't want to play with you anymore. Gone. That's it.
He found new toys to play with.
Oh yeah, basically, like his son-in-law, or sorry, his son. I mean, he probably plays with Triple H too, but but yeah, I mean, like it's definitely.
I mean,
what?
That's an absurd amount of number. Like, there's 12 pay-per-views in a month. In a year.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And the title's been around for about 3 years now, and the fact that there's only 15 people getting a title shot, it's just like absurd amount of numbers compared to the amount of people on the roster and the amount of people could give title shots to.
Could you imagine if Brock didn't have this belt for X amount of years? How many guys would have gotten an opportunity at this belt? How many matchups we would have seen, dream matchups we would have seen up to now? I mean, just think about it.
I wasn't even like putting into the factor of Lesnar holding the belt hostage for that whole long ass time either. I didn't even think of that as well. Like,
even if he held it for like a year, let's just say a year, and then the next 2 years it's just like other people, it still would have been more than 15, would have been double that. So
it's just
possibilities.
Well, it's just because they need to start getting more talent. They need to start, stop.
They don't need to get more talent. They have plenty of talent already. They need to use the talent that they already have.
What I meant by that, and I did say that wrong, it's not get more talent, and it's actually use the talent that they have. Exactly what you were just saying. And I think it's just because, and literally, how long have we been fucking saying this for? Our podcast hasn't even been around a year yet, and we've literally said this in multiple podcasts, and it's because WWE is just fucking stupid.
I don't think this is an issue that's ever going to go away.
Now,
in the
I have these
WWE.
I'm sorry, but okay, I have these idiots on Twitter that are like, AEW will never become as big as WWE. Well, I'm sorry, but if WWE is literally continues down the path that they're doing right now, AEW is probably going to become better eventually. I mean, yeah, like they can monopolize as much as they want to, but eventually people are the ones that control it with their money.
Yep.
Business-wise, I don't think anyone's going to be able to compete with WWE. But, I mean, there's still, like, that's not saying that AEW is not going to be better than WWE. And they're not going to put out the superior product. They're not going to have the bigger fan base.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, WWE is already just so huge as a company that I don't, like, see them being able to be, like, taken down like that.
Yeah, but like that's just kind of the thing is that don't you think that so like they'll never ever be forced to better their product?
Exactly, that's the issue. They know they're always going to have the money. They're always going to have they're going to have all the parents spending their money for their kids. They're going to have all that stuff. They know they're safe, so they can just do the safe stuff that they want to do.
So what is like the deal with that? With them like kind of changing? Apparently, like they were changing the rating for the show to make it a little bit less kiddish, maybe more for teenagers. Apparently, and so far, like they had Kofi like flip off Kevin Owens, and they did have like a little bit more violence, more like over the top violence.
Yeah, with
Braun
and Lashley.
yeah, and
the whole stage thing.
From what I heard,
holy shit.
Yeah, from like what I heard, they were starting to amp stuff up a little bit more. So, what is that just going to fall by the wayside right now?
So that's a good question. I mean, all that happened in 1 week. That whole stage incident, and
it was like
Kofi,
1 week, and then it was done.
Yeah,
it was literally like 1 week, and then it was
it's
done.
like the following Raw was just like, what is this? They went back to their old ways.
There was like an extreme fucking difference between like that week's Raw and then like the following weeks. It was just so uneventful.
Oh man!
And like it's funny because it was coming right off the announcement. Like Paul Heyman was taking over, and they're like, "All right, let's see what happens." And that first night when it was supposedly the first night of Paul Heyman or whatever, it was incredible, and everyone, oh, you can see the difference and all that. And then the next week they just go straight back to what they've been doing for the longest time. It's like, why? Why couldn't you just keep the momentum going?
Paul, gotta stop that shit. Gotta stop that shit. It's not good shit. It's not good shit. That was probably Vince. Just like, it's not good shit, Paul. Gotta stop. I mean, I don't know like what it is because this has happened before. You see the change, and then it's gone. Like when Vince and when Vince and Triple H actually came out like before Christmas time and said that they were actually listening to the fans now, and then they were bringing up people from NXT, and then they brought in the women's tag team championships. Like, where are the tag team championships now? What are they doing with EC3? He just sits around all the time with like a cup of like water in his hand, and that's it.
Maybe.
Yeah,
don't even remind me of the satellite.
Like they're doing something with heavy machinery, somewhat.
Yeah. Are they really though?
They were.
I
mean, started to stop them too.
It's the same thing with heavy machinery and the Viking Raiders or the Viking Experience or whatever the hell their Viking name is now.
Yeah.
They'll have them hot for a few weeks and then they'll just like have them cut off for like they weren't doing anything for a while. Then they bring them back again. And then they stop. Yeah,
I mean, when I saw that it was the New Day, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the New Day. If there was like one more overused tag team on the roster, I don't get enough of, it's the New Day. Like, I do absolutely love them to death. But the thing is that when I saw them with the tag team titles again, I was like, why would you do that? Like, how many times have they held the tag titles, and how many, like, why not just give it to the heavy machinery? I mean, give them the shot, let them hold the titles. And, I mean, they have the charisma. They're funny. They're all strong. I mean, they're not, Otis isn't as, like, athletic. Like, I guess, like, in some, like, retrospect, he is strong, though. But he's funny, though. Like, he makes up for that. Like, you saw him, like, go for, like, a suicide dive, and he basically just stops, goes through the ropes, and then he's like, boop, and then just jumps on people. Like, that's great. That's great. He knows the limitations of his body, but he makes up for it in humor. So that's what I like about them. And I mean, like, you also have like Lacey Evans, and remember during the pay-per-view with that, little shot right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like kind of like edgy too, and
Yeah.
I don't know, like they're kind of floating
Oh,
around
yeah.
with her a little bit. I don't know what
Yeah.
that's going to lead to or what, but they are making her into a pretty good heel, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the people that are underused is always going to be a much greater number than like the people that are overused. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at the Iconics; they're doing amazing work as the champions. Like heel work on the mic, their ring work can still be improved upon a bit,
Yeah.
but like on the mic and like what they're doing is great. But they're not getting any time. Like they should at least like if they're gonna like not give them matches or not if they don't want to give them time, give them like a promo segment of them like dodging every challenger for the titles.
Well, that's what they're already kind of doing, but
Yeah.
the like the women's tag titles, you hear about it like what, like once every 3 weeks, once every 2 weeks or so. It's
If you see
just like the whole,
Paige.
it's like the whole division. They amped it up for a while, and then they just kind of pissed on it, and that's it. Now it's just like like something that they bring up every few weeks, and that's it. The whole thing was just like, okay,
It came in with a huge bang, and then it just fizzled out right away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I heard they have Sonya and what's her name, Mandy Rose, potentially going for a shot at it. So, I mean, I don't know if it may help both of them, but I mean, they still got to give those titles a little more time on TV and give it some, a kick in the groin, So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. So there was another thing that's been like overused lately, and that's the 2 out of 3 falls matches. I mean, not at all what I remember the 2 out of 3 falls matches being like, because now when I ever see a 2 out of 3 falls match, it literally is just like, oh, for 5 minutes one person scores a pinfall, and then the next 5 minutes the other person scores the pinfall, and then pretty much it's like, maybe like a 15-minute match afterwards, and then that's it. So in that like retrospect, and like I've seen quite a few different 2 out of 3 falls matches where it was literally just like that, and it's not even like when Shawn Michaels used to do the 2 out of 3 falls matches, especially like the one against Kurt Angle there, which was actually really intense, like, or like some of these there that used to go on for like a long time. Now it's just like for like a time filler, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, this has really been like bothering me because they keep doing it on Raw with the Revival and with, like other tag teams, and even like, well, mainly it's been done in the Revival matches, but they have done it in a few other people's matches. But you'll have them come in, you'll get hit by one move and get pinned, and then they'll just like do a few other moves on the other team, get a pin, and then like have a regular match after that. But I'm like, that just kills like any momentum that a superstar has. It's like, you really expect me to believe that someone's gonna get pinned after getting kicked in the face once? Like, it just doesn't seem like it makes things like it takes things out of perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the live crowd there having to sit through a 4-minute commercial break to wait for another fall. I mean, there's like no ongoing wrestling happening, during the commercial. It's just like,
Yeah, well, that's
waiting. Yeah.
what this was supposedly like. The reason why they're doing is just so they can have a fall, go to commercial break, and then like not cut the action during commercial break.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, I don't like, just have the action going. Like, they should just bring back the second screen experience or whatever, where they would go like on the app. You can watch the match going on the commercial break. Like, they did that for a while when the app first came out, and that was good. Like, you didn't actually miss anything. Like, they can keep the matches going strong, not killing the momentum of it. And it's like doing this 2 out of 3 falls. Like, this is just like a crappy solution.
But didn't Raw do that on Monday? They had a PIP in the corner, I think it was.
Yeah,
they had
they
the
had
matches going on, and they had like the commercial breaks going on the big screen.
Yeah, they had it like for one match. I forget which match it was, but I was like, okay, this is the first time on Raw. SmackDown's been doing it for a while. Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
SmackDown, SmackDown, that was like the biggest appeal of SmackDown to me, was having the matches still going on during the commercial break, and then Raw was like trying it, and then they were just. no, not this. We want people to suffer, and then yeah.
I think what it is there's more leeway on SmackDown. Like it's not drawing as much ratings on Raw, so I think they can get away with like doing that. I think the people that are like it's up to the advertisers, I would assume, and they don't want that like on their big Raw. Like they want people to focus on their ads. So I just don't think they can actually do it on Raw.
Yeah,
because
possible.
I would assume they're paying a lot more money for an ad on Raw than they are for an ad on SmackDown.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
They pay more money.
And here's like the other thing too about that. It just feels like there's just so much time wasting in like during WWE. There's the whole like on Raw there's like a billion commercials like on both of them, SmackDown and Raw, there's always so much talking. There's like a bunch of talk shows, the Kevin Owens show now. There's just like it's always so much talking, and that's is like wow. Like I don't know. I remember like when they used to do like a little like badass segment or something like that, or at least just have something happen during these things. Now it's just like talking. That's it. And
there was I think even as of last week they had Miz TV back to back on Monday and Tuesday. I think at one point. I remember.
Yeah.
That's like a little bit too much overkill, you know.
That's a little too much right there. That's a little red flag there. I mean,
that's the thing. Like they're using the 2 out of 3 falls to cut time instead of using other points where they should be cutting time. Like, don't cut time during a match. Cut time during a segment or cut time during a promo. We don't need to see Miz TV every single week. We don't need to see Roman Reigns talking about how he hates Shane McMahon. Moment of bliss.
Yeah, like there's like 5 talk shows, and it's always just the same people coming out. You know, almost like what they're gonna talk about, and just like nothing happens. It's just such like filler. It's just such repeat.
Well, because they have their shows, they're way too structured now. That's what it is. They'll Raw start off with a 20-minute promo, then they'll have a match, and then another promo, then another like 5-minute match, and then more promo, and then maybe a talk show. It's like they need to stop. They need to break the structure, and like actually make a less formatted show.
Yeah, place guys in different segments, in different areas of the show. You know, throughout the show, and kind of make it feel different and look different, you know? Yeah.
This 24/7 championship, this is a good way to break structure. You have, like, you cut to this a few times throughout the night. It gives you a small break from the action. It gives you, like, it's not a boring segment. It's not a boring promo. And, I mean, they're doing great work with that. That honestly was the best part of that Raw reunion night.
Yeah, well, you know what I have been enjoying so far with Raw is Bray Wyatt coming back, and just like the whole like basically just having the, like whatever it is, his alter ego kind of come out and just like attack random people. The Fiend, just seeing like the Fiend come out and just like, you know, it's like the Sister Abigail, but like when he attacked McFoley and he, you know, I guess like he stole McFoley's move now, the mandible claw, and just seeing him like use that now, I'm like, oh my god, like that's actually perfect, because it would actually be really cool to see him actually do that like in the Sister Abigail. But yeah, I mean, like it just like he's coming back, and now like he has like these 2 different personas. One's like nice, and then the other one's like a, you know, like a nice, like kind of like over the toply nice, and the other one's like this like evil, like, you know, being. But the mask is badass though, and like the costume I think is badass as hell.
What's great about that is I think it was when he was talking to Finn on SmackDown that he was saying, oh, the Fiend doesn't like you, but we like you. I was like, what? That's great.
The Fiend doesn't like you.
Yeah,
we like you.
I mean, I just really hope they don't screw this up again. Like, they just, I don't know. They've always had bad interactions with Bray. Like they've never treated him the way he deserved to be treated, and I'm afraid we're just gonna get the same thing over and over again.
I really hope not, and I don't know. I feel like with this one here, there's like a little less opportunity to fuck it up, if you know what I mean, because I feel like they've actually kind of put some thought into this one here. just with the whole Firefly Funhouse thing, with the whole basically with his whole custom mask with the characters and stuff. I mean, like, we'll see definitely down the road, but I feel the best way to do this is just really let it be slow and just let don't give him like a title shot right away or anything like that. Don't just like push him right away, but just like really start building him up as a heel and just seeing how people react to his basically like what he becomes. Like, I feel like he's basically kind of doing like a mixture of like his old gimmick there with like the Wyatt family mixed with like Bo Dallas, kind of like, he's like this nice guy, like really nice, but then like he'll just turn around like snap and then be like this crazy creepy like monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I feel like that could actually work out really well. I just think that they really need to.
I mean, yeah.
See
I
how
mean,
it
there's
goes,
no matter what they give him, like Bray Wyatt can make things work. It's them.
It's them. It's always them too.
It's not him. It's them.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that it's just like a matter of seeing. I honestly think that he would be like a great tweener. I think that he doesn't need to be a face or a heel. I think that he could attack both sides. I think that he, like, especially with his gimmick here, like, he comes off as like a nice person, but the Fiend is just like this person that will make him do whatever is right for himself.
Yeah, and if they play it right, I mean, they could actually like work that in, like as his character, have him like come out and help good guys as the Firefly Funhouse guy or whatever.
This is the Mr. Rogers type.
Yeah,
Mr. Rogers. Yeah, have the Mr. Rogers type character as a face, and then like have him. It's like kind of like a schizophrenic gimmick, where he's like Jekyll and Hyde, like just transforming back and forth, and like as the Fiend, he's a heel. And then, I mean, even like you can have it happen, like I guess like mid-match, have him start a match as Mr. Rogers,
and then like he transforms into the Fiend.
the lights flicker off, and then he come back on with the mask on, and he turns on his partner, or turns on like whatever, like something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that. I have no idea how the hell like he changed like really fast, unless if like they had somebody else be the Fiend.
I mean,
like, they just swap out with him.
You just cut the lights and then have him draw the mask on, and maybe like something else. Like,
yeah, because the Rogers character is like always wearing like a sweater, khakis, and so he's gotta like lose the khakis, put on his like other pants and the little jacket he's got on, the Beetlejuice
get like
mask and everything.
Get a tearaway like outfit.
Yeah, exactly.
Rip it off and then
have it underneath there or something.
Yeah.
Here we go, boys.
Oh boy.
Alrighty. So that will do it for this episode of That's Not the Finished podcast, and we'll catch you next time.